Our pastor shared an incredible sermon last week, and what we want to do is just take a minute and hit some of the highlights, some of the most important teachings we found from this incredible teaching that he shared with us. If you want to listen to the whole sermon, there's a link below that you can go and hear the entire message, but if you've only got a few minutes, we want to make sure that you're getting the main points from the message. Selfish ambition is the secret hidden desire for greatness gone wrong. Our pastor warned us against selfish ambition and how it really kind of runs over people for the sake of being great. So it's not wrong to want to be great, but when that greatness turns into selfish ambition, where you are focused on you getting ahead, then it's dangerous and it's sinful and it tears other people down. And so if you find yourself not caring about other people or not being concerned about how your actions impact those around you, if the end result is your greatness, then you are susceptible to selfish ambition. And we're called to turn away from that. We're called to chase after putting the needs of others above ourselves. One of the things God really wants us to do is care about those around us, whether it's your friends, your family, your coworkers, your classmates, whoever it may be. We're called to value relationships, but some things can happen to ruin those relationships when we get too focused on our own ambitions. When selfish ambition happens in our lives, it casts a gloom over the relationships that Jesus wants us to manage well for his glory. God loves allowing us to be part of his work by building relationships with people who need to feel and see his love. But when we get so focused on ourselves being great, on achieving, on selfish ambition, God can't use our relationships with those around us to lead people to him. We cast a gloom on those friendships and relationships when we start caring more about ourselves than those around us. So we have to continue to remind ourselves to put the needs of those around us first. Terry Newhoff is a church leader whose last name is almost impossible for me to spell, but he had an incredible thing to say that our pastor shared with us recently. When selfishness and ambition move into the same room together, the combination is deadly. So many of us have ambition. We want to be great at something, whether it's our job or school, whatever. And we want to be great, and there's nothing really inherently wrong with that. But when selfishness is mixed with ambition, that's dangerous, okay? That can cause the death of relationships. That can hurt those around us. That can steamroll people. When our selfishness and ambition combine, there's nothing good that can come of it. So if you find yourself seeking out ambitious things, looking to be great for your own sake as opposed to for God's sake, you are in a dangerous spot. You're in a place where incredibly damaging things can happen to you and those around you, and you have to be careful. Selfish ambition has no room for relationship. When you're concerned with getting ahead, you really don't care about those around you. There's no room for friendships, for meaningful connections with others when you're focused on your own selfish ambitions. When you're focused on getting ahead, when you're focused on being the best, when you're focused on being better than those around you, you end up steamrolling those close to you. You end up trying to rush past them in pursuit of your own greatness and achievement. There's just no room for relationship. And Jesus calls us to love God and love others. These are the two greatest commandments he's given us, and we can't love others well when we're chasing after our own accomplishments. So we need to lay those accomplishments down at the feet of Jesus and chase after meaningful relationships so we can love and encourage those around us instead of chasing our own success and achievements. Philippians 2 has a couple of incredible verses I want to share with you, starting with this one. Do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves. This is something that is so hard for us to do, to count others more significant than ourselves. But if every single human in the world counted those around them more significant than themselves, there would be literally zero problems, okay? If we all considered the needs of those next to us, if we all considered the emotions and the feelings of those we live life with, if we all considered other people more than ourselves, there'd be no issues, there'd be no problems. And we can't change the entire world. We can't make everybody count others as more significant than themselves, but we can start with us, okay? It starts right here. How can you count those around you as more significant than yourself? How can you put them ahead of yourself instead of thinking of yourself first? And if it starts with us, it's going to carry on to those around us. Philippians 2 has the key to a perfect world. Let each of you look not only to his own interests, but also to the interests of others. There's nothing wrong for looking after yourself, okay? We got to get the good job. We got to take care of our family. We got to feed ourselves. All those things are important. But if we would look not only at our own interests, but also the interests of others, we would solve all of our problems and all of the world's problems, to be honest. If we could just find a way to not only care about what we need and want, but care about what our neighbor needs and wants, then things are going to be better. So whether it's a classmate or a neighbor or a coworker or a boss or whatever it may be, I challenge you to start thinking about what they need as well as what you need. So when you're in a fight, when you're in an argument, when you're trying to get what you want or what you need, pause and think about what they need and say, man, how can we do both of these things? How can we look at not only our own interests, but the interests of those around us? And if we all start doing that, I promise you the world's going to be a better place.